Well, just to wrap up the show, they say some people are hard to help. And that can certainly be said of those in charge of the Liberal Party Australia-wide. After recent electoral defeats, each state executive and the federal executive should be cleaned out and refreshed, that is, sacked. There should be a spill of all positions and an overhaul of the structure. By whom, God only knows. The Liberal Party are the Rugby League West Tigers of the political world. And just as the West Tigers supporters are staging their own quiet protests in relation to the shambolic management of their club, so too should the Liberal membership. They're treated with disdain by the so-called power brokers who are only interested in building their own chiefdoms. The electorate is always ignored. Branch members are told to sit down and shut up. Liberal staffers on taxpayer-funded salaries are too busy playing factional games, and Liberal MPs seem to be more interested in getting corporate box tickets to the next football game. The whole setup is broken, and no wonder voters are walking away. I alluded to this when I spoke to Dave Chalmer earlier tonight. Let's go through the Liberal Party primary vote in recent times. 2020 Northern Territory general election, 31%. 2020 Queensland state election, 35%. 2021 West Australian state election, 21%. 2022 South Australian state election, 35%. All these were losers. 2022 Victorian state election, 34%. They didn't have any interest in the senior prefect that was running the Liberal Party. No one knew his name. 2022 Australian federal election, 35%. 2023 New South Wales state election, a disaster, 35%. In 7 elections, not once has the Liberal Party achieved a primary vote with a 4 in front of it. Well, as for the New South Wales Liberal Party, headed by people you wouldn't trust to run a bath, let alone a political organisation, they're now spinning March's result by calling it a success because Labor are in minority government. How about that? Losing is now deemed a success. The latest from this soap opera called the New South Wales Liberal Party is filling the Senate vacancy, following the sad passing of Jim Molan, a friend of mine and a great Australian. But even Jim, a general in the army who led the coalition forces in Afghanistan, and I was talking earlier to Dave Chalmer about talent, this man had to fight his way, he didn't win pre-selection, fight his way through non-entity power brokers to actually get to the Senate. That's a story for another time, I suppose. But filling this Senate seat will be a test for those who purport to organise the right in the New South Wales Liberal Party. Jim Molan was their person, hence the so-called right should be filling the spot. Now, the so-called right, by the way, are merely true Liberals. But no, the male is the New South Wales State President. Go on, pause. Who is he or she? The New South Wales Liberal Party State President. Who? Maria Kovacic. She's the favourite to fill the vacancy. She was Morrison's pick for the seat of Parramatta. She lost it, a really popular person with the electorate, a Liberal swing against her of 6.3%. Somehow she was then made the president of the New South Wales Liberal Party. No one wanted the job. And now 6 months from that, she's eyeing off the late Jim Molan's Senate seat and is the preferred choice of Matt Keane's moderates. We know where they finished up at the state election. But the so-called moderate faction are not moderate at all. They're lefties. And they're about a millimetre, if you're lucky, to the right of every Labor decision. They should join the Labor Party and leave the true Liberals alone. Others who want the seat include the one-time Western Sydney MP Fiona Scott. The former State Minister Andrew Constance is apparently in the mix. He's a good man. The story being that since Jim Molan resided in Queanbeyan, the Senate vacancy should go to someone in the regions. But I think if Andrew Constance stood in that seat, Gilmore, where he narrowly lost at the last federal election, he would win next time. But all of this is a fair argument, the seat going to someone in the regions. But why not indigenously to Warren Mundine?